Sometimes we need a moment of embarrassment, a moment of humility to bring out the best out of us. I remember when I was almost finishing my primary school, I was just a mediocre student. Mediocre in the sense that I didn't take anything seriously. But one day, as we were paraded and given our reports card, the school would assemble and then they would read number 1, number 2, number 3. And in my class, there were these 2 ladies who kept on taking the limelight. Then one day I asked myself, is this fair? It can sound chauvinistic, but that is what humbled me. I said, no, this cannot happen. How can I be a mediocre? How can I be beaten by these ladies? So I started taking my studies seriously. Seriously. I said, no. I must get something bigger than these ladies. So my point was just to get something better than these ladies. But do you know what? In that moment of humility brought out the best out of me. Suddenly, I could top the class. Suddenly, I could top the class. And this continued. This continued in that year. And imagine that was the last year. And I did much better. And I managed to go to secondary school. And that was interesting. My first time to leave my village to go to somewhere else. A boarding school, a wonderful school. And as I was going there, I remember my father taking me there. And actually, when my father took me there, I didn't know it was the last time I was seeing him because he passed away that term when I reported in school. Now, when I reported, then I realized immediately that, here I'm not the best. I met people who are also the best from their places. And at first, I was disappointed. At first, I was depressed. I said I thought I was the best. And then life happened, and we would start studying. But I started finding my ground. But the best part is that I realized there was something wonderful in me. I didn't realize this. I realized I could compete. I realized I could compete with the best in my school. Then this gave me, all these humbling moments gave me an impetus to do much better, and to do much better. And you see, in secondary school, that is where I realized the power of peer pressure. The power of peer pressure. I remember one day, the school, when we entered into Form 1, the school used to have very nice meals. Imagine we could eat fish, we could eat meat twice a week. But the best part was the breakfast. We had 2 breakfasts. We had porridge in the morning, and then in the mid-morning, we had bread and tea. Then suddenly, a new headmaster came. They were not called principals then, in the 90s. A new headmaster came, and he thought it was a luxury to have 2 breakfasts. And you know what happened? One day, we realized the bread and the tea had been removed. And what was remaining was a cup of uji, a cup of porridge at around 6. And that was it until lunchtime. It took us only 2 days to organize what we would call a mass walkout. Listen, this is what happened. We said, no, we can't take this anymore. So we organized ourselves and we decided that all the students would walk out of the school. And we slept that day, I remember. It rained heavily at night, But by around 3, all of us were awake and we all walked out of the school. I don't know what happened back there, but by 5:30, there was no one in school. And it was, for us, it was joy. For us, it was something that we really, but what I came to realize later is that we didn't have the mentality to destroy the school. I was so saddened when I left Form 4. And 1 year after that, I heard that the young people had burnt down the school because they disagreed with the administration. Come to think of it, I don't know why, but we never thought of destroying our own dormitory. We never thought of destroying our own laboratory. We never thought of destroying our own sleeping places. We never thought of destroying our labs. I don't know what happened after that, but another mindset came where when people want to vent, when people want to say no to something, they destroyed their very places where they would go back. I remember we went back, and the only punishment we got was a few strokes of the cane. We didn't pay those thousands of shillings that people usually pay because they had destroyed something. It taught me something. It taught me something, that whatever there is for the community, it is important to take care of it. Yes, sometimes we disagree. Yes, sometimes we do not share the same opinion, but it is not wise to destroy what helps everybody. I have come to learn that, and I find it strange today when people destroy the very things that help every person. I believe, and I learned that time, that there is a way of passing a message without destroying what keeps every other person comfortable. Unpacking the backpack. This is a wonderful thing. Thank you.